"Get behind me, Satan." Jesus explained these words to Peter. And it probably shook Peter to his soul. Though the words must have been deeply troubling to the disciple, they hold a profound meaning that resonates for us today. They speak to our struggle against malevolent forces and our long, sometimes arduous journey with Christ. Let us delve into the depths of their meaning, beginning with the events that led to their utterance. Jesus revealed to the 12 that he must go to Jerusalem, suffer at the hands of the elders, chief priests, and scribes, and they would kill him. But he would then be raised on the third day. When Jesus spoke these words, he was explaining the significance of his mission to his disciples. But Peter could not accept the idea that Jesus would be killed. He took Jesus aside and said to him, "Never, Lord. This will never happen to you." Then Jesus rebukes Peter with a peculiar phrase, "Get behind me, Satan." The statement indicates a spiritual battle at work between Jesus and Satan. Jesus recognized that Peter's words were not his own but were influenced by the devil, who was trying to divert Jesus from his purpose and mission. Peter, like many Jews of that time, believed that the Messiah would come as a conquering king. But Jesus knew that his mission was to suffer and die for the sins of humanity. Satan was trying to tempt Jesus into taking a different path, one that would deceive people and nullify his ultimate purpose. But Jesus resisted Satan's temptation and remained obedient to God's plan, and thus came the now familiar words, "Get behind me, Satan." Peter probably found these words troubling, but there are a couple of implications believers can draw from the phrase. The first is we have spiritual authority over Satan and evil. It's possible that the phrase, "Get behind me," is based on a Hebrew idiom utilized in the Old Testament. This Hebrew phrase or idiom is found in passages that speak of divine confrontation with evil. It essentially means, "Get out of my way." A similar expression to, "Get behind me," can also be found in the Old Testament. It is the words, "Be gone," words Jesus used while in the wilderness fasting for 40 days. In the Old Testament, the phrase, "Be gone," or, "Depart from me," is used to describe the removal of evil from a person or situation. For example, in Psalm chapter 6 verse 8, David says, "Depart from me, all you workers of evil." Likewise, Jewish exorcists of Jesus' time would command unclean spirits to depart from an individual using similar language. It seems likely that when Jesus spoke the words, "Be gone, Satan," in the wilderness, he was carrying out this powerful Hebrew tradition of dismissing evil. There is an obvious similarity between the words, "Be gone," and, "Get behind me, Satan." In both cases, Jesus is rejecting the temptation and dismissing the forces of darkness. He was probably doing something similar when he spoke the words, "Satan, get behind me." He was commanding the devil to get out of his way, to depart. But for the believer, Jesus' use of this phrase and others like it demonstrate a spiritual authority over Satan and evil, which we can also claim. So the next time you're confronted with evil, the next time you face temptation, you may want to dismiss this evil by saying, "Be gone," or, "Get behind me." The second implication for the believer is this: Jesus alone is the one we are to follow. While in the wilderness, Satan suggests to Jesus that he should worship him. In Matthew chapter 4 verse 9, Satan tells Jesus, "All the kingdoms of the world I will give you if you will fall down and worship me." Satan was essentially tempting Jesus to follow him. However, Jesus responded by saying, "Satan, be gone. For it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God and him only shall you serve." Matthew chapter 4 verse 10. While in the wilderness, Satan tempts Jesus to follow him. In the scene with Peter, the scene we started with in this video, Jesus turns the table on Satan. When he tells Peter, "Get behind me," he is saying to Satan, Peter, and everyone else for that matter, "Follow me. I am the lead. Wherever I go, you should follow. Get behind me and follow me." The expression, "get behind me," can also mean, to follow behind, and can be used as a metaphorical expression for submission or obedience. For example, in Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 6, the Israelites are commanded to walk in the Lord's ways and to fear him. The Hebrew verb used for walk in can also mean to go behind or to follow. In Mark chapter 8 verse 34, Jesus declares, "If anyone would come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." In this passage, the Greek word used for follow can also mean to go behind or to come after. We are to get behind Jesus and follow him no matter where it leads, even if it leads to suffering or death. It is our calling in following him to also suffer like him, if the situation arises. One verse that speaks to this is Philippians chapter 3 verse 10. Paul writes, "I want to know Christ, to know the power of his resurrection and participation in his sufferings, becoming like him in his death." A passage written by Peter says, "Dear friends, do not be surprised at the fiery ordeal that has come on you to test you, as though something strange were happening to you. But rejoice inasmuch as you participate in the sufferings of Christ, so that you may be overjoyed when his glory is revealed." 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 12 and 13. These verses in Philippians and Peter suggest, like the phrase, "get behind me," that we should get behind Jesus and follow him wherever it may lead us, even if that means hardship, loss or death. As we have discussed in this video, the phrase, "Satan, get behind me," has significance for the believer. First, like Jesus, we can exercise spiritual authority over dark entities. Second, we are to follow Jesus and him only, even if it leads to persecution, difficulty or death. Let us know your thoughts on Jesus' words to Peter in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, give a thumbs up or go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.